This podcast is sponsored by nobody. Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back the lovely, the talented, the hilarious CK Steefel. You all know her from Frankenhooker, and she was on Seinfeld, of course. And we are going to nerd out on the entertainment of our youth, and we're going to celebrate the 35th anniversary of Frankenhooker. And CK, of course, is also a writer, and we're going to see if she's working on any new writing projects. And it's going to be great to have her on. I had her on a couple years ago. I just love her energy and her spirit, and I thought she would be a fun nerd out. So I reached out, and of course it's Halloween, October, spooky season. Frankenhooker is a spooky movie, so to speak. It's a horror comedy, but I thought it would be a nice little theme to have her back on for a nerd out. And I have got so many toe curlers this Halloween season. It's going to just keep on getting better, and it's going to get more spooktacular. So yeah, here is my new interview with CK Steefel. Hey CK, welcome back. How are you today?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
I am fabulous. It's so great to talk to you again. How is everything?
Everything's good. Everything's really well. We moved to the East Coast and we're closer to our kids, which is nice.
Nice. Well, I'm sounding like a broken record, but despite the world getting crazier every day, I can't complain. I am blessed.
Yeah, good. What's going on? What's happening with you?
Podcasting and losing weight, having good health, everything's fantastic.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations. That's really great.
Yes. So, going back in time, do you remember the first movie that impacted you as a child?
Well, I'm so influenced by comedy. I know in our first interview it was all about because I did some horror movies way back when that I'm not like thrilled to bring up because it was a sort of different universe for me,
Yeah.
but I'm really influenced by comedy, and so when I was little, I guess I would say Woody Allen, Young Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think Young Frankenstein really hit me, like because I was old enough to sort of understand the humor of it.
Yeah.
Um, when I remember though going back to the horror movies is my parents when I was about 8 years old and The Exorcist came out
Mm-hmm.
and they took us to see it, and my mom kept trying to I was sitting next to my mom and she kept whispering in my ear trying to make light of all the scary scenes. So like when Regan threw up green sludge, she leaned over and whispered in
Yeah.
my ear, Anderson pea soup. So I was supposed to relate instead of this horrible sludge that, what they really used was pea soup. So
Yeah.
I still have humors, but
Yeah.
but at least she had a sense of humor.
Yeah, my dad, my stepdad, they told me stories about going to see The Exorcist in the theater when it first came out, and there were kids like running out of the theaters, just like going to go vomit. They were so scared.
Yeah, it was very scary. It was, I mean, her twisting her head around. That's a complete 360.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was and for its time too. I guess they didn't have CGI or anything like that, but for its time, it looked very realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Back to the Future when I was a kid impacted me. I used to look at my parents' yearbooks, and I always had that fantasy of going back in time and seeing them in high school and finding out why they're so fucked up and I'm so fucked up.
You know what? Those movies were perfect. They really
Yeah.
were. Especially the first one, the screenplay, the story, everything fit into a package. And yeah, my husband and I will still watch some movies over and over again, and that's probably one of them.
Yeah, it's
Do you ever
fantastic.
do that? Watch a movie a few times?
I have over 2,000 movies in my personal collection, so yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah. There's just those repeat movies that like
Yeah,
will believe in each other. We haven't seen A Fish Called Wanda in a year. Maybe it's
yeah.
time for that.
I love that movie. That movie does not get talked about that much these days, and I don't know why. It's one of the greatest comedies ever.
It was so good. It was so hilarious. We still quote scenes from it. It was just brilliant. It was my favorite Jamie Lee Curtis performance. All of their performances were amazing.
I just love I just love it when Kevin Kline is having sex with Jamie Lee Curtis. He's like pumping her up like she's inflatable.
Or the whole disappointed.
Yeah.
We use that all the time with anything that we're disappointed about. We're just reminded of the. It's just classic.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'll watch Galaxy Quest. Have you ever seen that?
hmm
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Tim Allen fan, but like yeah, I've seen Galaxy Quest. It's pretty funny.
yeah, yeah. And even Arthur, even though it's from
Oh,
like 1981, the original one,
yes.
it's so
I was
good.
named after him. My middle name is Arthur.
Oh, you're kidding! The Dudley Moore character?
Yeah, my middle name is
That's
Arthur. My mom loves Dudley Moore.
that's so funny. That's so funny. That's really sweet. Oh,
Did you love Mel Brooks movies?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Love Mel Brooks. So like I mentioned, Young Frankenstein, Velocity Blues we
Oh,
saw recently.
love it.
Uh,
Love it.
oh
That's
my God.
it's one of my
This
favorites. Oh my god, just, Epstein, Arnold B. Ho ho. Are
yo
there
ho, yo ho.
are there two Arnold Epsteins in this company? Love that.
Yeah, that's a great movie. I know some of these comedies they should be re-released or something, restreamed or
Yeah.
marketed again because they're just classics.
Yeah, I grew up on like Blake Edwards movies, not just the Pink Panther, but like, oh my God, Victor Victoria, SOB, um, God,
Yeah,
Breakfast at Tiffany's, God, The Great
I
Race.
totally I totally forgot about Victor Victoria. That movie was brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah, and all the Pink Panther movies. Yeah, those were awesome.
yeah. I've talked to his daughter a few times, Blake Edwards' daughter Jennifer, and she just loves that. I love her dad's movies. I mean, I literally know them all. He's one of my favorite comedy directors. Yeah, even the ones that he did in the late '80s that were not so good, like Blind Date with Bruce Willis and A Fine Mess with Ted Danson and Howie Mandel. Those movies are hilarious.
Yeah, I do remember him sort of, for me personally, not being as funny as he got older,
hmm
but man, in his prime with the Pink Panther movies and the classic.
Yeah, just those karate demonstrations every time he comes home with Kato, it's just hilarious. And she told me her father loved martial arts, and I think she told me that he was very close with Bruce Lee.
Oh, really?
hmm
Oh, interesting. So he was really influenced by him.
Yeah, like he was in the karate long before anybody was. Like, it was still, an ancient Chinese, form of fighting, and it hadn't really made the impact in America as it did. But like, I think he became aware of it like during World War II or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Now, did you like any early Streisand movies?
My favorite is What's Up, Doc.
What's up, Doc?
That is one of my favorite movies because I remember watching it for the first time, having the worst sickness of my life when I was 5, and my grandmother and I watched it in the morning, and then she took me to the doctor, and it was like 2 days before Christmas Eve or something, and it's a memory of that I just love about it.
That's so funny because you remember you were sick, but
Yeah.
then your favorite movies, so you actually have a good memory of being sick.
Oh, it's funny. It's a funny movie, you know. It was shot in my hometown, San Francisco, so I can watch it over and over again, and I know every line.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So now I need to watch that one again. But I just remember when I was little being really struck by Barbara Streisand and her talent. She was such a comedian. She was so
Hmm.
good, and Hello Dolly and Funny Girl.
Yeah, I'm not like a hardcore Streisand fan. I love that movie, and I love The Way We Were. I think those are two of her best movies.
Yeah, yeah. Her later ones, like Yentl, she got a little, like the one woman movie.
Yeah,
She really got it.
self-indulgent navel gazing.
Yes, yeah, indulgent. Yeah, the navel gazing Yentl was, yeah. So I kind of fell away from being a fan of hers, but I definitely appreciate her from the 1970s.
Yeah. I love the old comedy teams, the Three Stooges, Martin and Lewis, the Marx Brothers, Laurel and Hardy. I got into Abbott and Costello a little later.
Yeah, I wasn't really into those guys. Gracie Allen though and George Burns. They were,
Oh, yep. I had a tape when I was a kid of like it was like two episodes of the Burns and Allen show with the original commercials for like cigarettes and like whatever they were selling, Coca-Cola or whatever. It was so cool. Yeah.
oh, awesome. Yeah, and you can still listen to the recordings on YouTube. And then the other one from the Seizure.
Sid Caesar.
That could get mean. The Sid Seizures. Yeah. But from his show when they did the 2,000-year-old man.
Hmm.
Did you ever hear that one?
Yes.
Or watch
Oh yeah, they did a
hear
cart.
it?
I remember they did a cartoon of it in the mid 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a cartoon of it. Oh my god! Sometimes still will be Jeffrey and I will be like, "There's ladies here,"
You knew
it's just this.
you knew Joan of Arc? Yeah, I took her to her prom.
Oh, just classic. Well, that's early Mel Brooks when he was before he you know
Yeah.
did all the movies and yeah, so funny. Yeah,
That really got his foot in the door doing that. And then, he created Get Smart, and then
that's right.
the Producers was the first movie he directed, and that movie was so controversial because of the Nazi theme and stuff, but it was so damn funny, and it still is.
That's right.
Kenneth Mars, playing the Nazi producer. It was so
Yeah,
funny.
I know it was a controversial back then, even though it was a comedy.
It was, yeah. They were like, "Oh God, why are you making light of Hitler and all that stuff?" And of
Mm,
course, he did that in almost every movie he's made. But at
yeah,
that time, it was new and fresh, and people were like, "This movie is going to flop." And strangely, it did. But then it became a cult classic because of all his other movies.
right. And then did you see it on Broadway?
No, no, was it good?
It was fabulous. It was unbelievable. It was one of the best Broadway shows I'd ever seen. I mean, they just took everything and blew it out of proportion in every kind of comedic style. And it was so fabulous.
Which cast did you see it with?
Who did I see it with? I think it was.
Because I know Martin Short and Nathan Lane did it, and then I think Jason Alexander replaced one of them.
I think I saw it with Matthew Broderick. Wasn't he in the original
He
on
did
Broadway?
he did one of the runs. I know that.
Yeah, he it was with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane, and then they also did the movie version. Yeah, so we were able to go early on,
Yeah,
and then the movie pretty good. The updated movie, it wasn't bad.
I didn't see the updated.
Consider Yeah, it was pretty good. There's nothing like the original movie, but
Never.
then I saw the Broadway show of Young Frankenstein, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
It just didn't.
Before my car crash, I was volunteering for this theater company, and they did Young Frankenstein while I was in the hospital recovering, and I never got to see it. I was like, God, I would love to see that. I just love Young Frankenstein. It's my favorite Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah. Well, Andrea Martin was the Cloris Leachman role on
Mm,
Broadway, and she was the best part of the whole show.
yes.
I love Andrea Martin. She is hilarious. So that was sort of the saving grace. But I think the lead guy was kind of miscast.
Mhm.
Bart, what was his first name? Andrew something Bart. I can't remember, but I think he was kind of miscast. But anyway, I'm glad they, any Broadway show, I think if they can, any comedies, I'm all for.
Yeah, like I grew up loving teen movies, teen comedies, because my brother had them all on VHS, and I wasn't allowed to watch them, but I did anyways when my parents weren't asleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so fun. Oh, you know what? And there's some comedies that I probably shouldn't admit to this that I actually let my kids watch that I thought were hilarious, like Role Models
Uh-huh.
and Step Brothers,
Yep.
School of Rock. Did you ever? Or I Love You,
Yep.
Man. Did you ever watch any of those?
Yep. School of Rock I did when it first came out. I thought it was one of the funniest comedies at that time.
Yeah, yeah. And that was when, so my kids were little, and I know there was like some bad language, and I would just tell them you can't repeat that language in school, but they were just, and Ted, Seth MacFarlane, as my mother says, just brilliant.
Yeah.
He's just a really funny guy.
I
And
I miss, like, how every year he would have a theatrical comedy or a couple out, and now, nobody's putting out the comedies in the theaters anymore. It's really, really sad.
I know. Yeah. I mean, they still have the Book of Mormon on Broadway, but that's kind of, I haven't seen that. And then there's the mockumentaries. Don't you love those Chris Guest mockumentaries?
Oh,
Did you ever see those?
my favorites are like Spinal Tap, Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, where they're the folk trio, and
Yep.
I just love it. I showed it to my dad when it first came out, and he was cracking up because it reminded him of like folk trios that he grew up on, or folk bands in general, like the Kingston Trio.
Uh-huh. Or Waiting for Guffman. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I remember seeing the advertisement of it when it came out. I probably did see it when it hit cable and stuff, but the ones that I mentioned before, those ones I remember the most.
Right. Yeah. Well, Waiting for Guffman was just right up our alley because we were both in theater, and the guy who plays the director of the
Yeah.
show was Chris Guest. But he's just hilarious, and it's just this small town, community theater, and they're expecting a big Broadway producer to come see their show.
Yeah.
Of course, he never comes, but it's so well done. You have to watch it.
I'll definitely check it out. Christopher Guest, oh my God, he is a genius.
He's a genius. I'm hoping that like something else comes out soon. Like that, I couldn't get enough of his work and the actors that were involved with all their pieces, and
Hmm.
so funny.
Yeah. When you were growing up, did you have any movie crushes?
Movie crushes. Probably more TV crushes. Like like the Fonz
Of course.
and and Davy Jones from the Monkees.
Oh, mine too. Mine too. I had a huge crush on him.
You did.
Yep.
And then what about the from the Partridge Family?
Cassidy.
I had a crush on Cassidy, but I knew that like Bonaducci, I just knew because he was the funny one, and I just wanted to hang out with him.
I have never heard anyone say that they had a crush on Danny Bonaducci ever.
I think he has a radio show now.
He did. He actually retired from it, and I know because my dad used to listen to it like every morning. But he told me, yeah, it's done now. He retired.
Oh, I wonder why he retired. Yeah, it was a good show. It was funny.
Well, he's almost 70, so you know.
He is?
He will be,
Wow.
yeah, like next year or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man, we're all getting old. Oh,
My
I just saw that Jerry Seinfeld is 72.
Yep. He's the same age as my mom. My mom's 2 months older than him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
My crushes were like Cary Grant, Natalie Wood, every 80s movie actress that I've met and interviewed and become friends with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so nice that you met them.
but the funny thing is, like they're like my aunt now. So like when I see them naked on screen, it doesn't have the same effect that it used to. You know?
That's so funny.
It's true.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
hilarious.
Were there
That's
any
so fun.
were there any movie characters that like you related to?
Um, what did I relate to? Well, I knew early on that I wanted to be an actor.
Hmm.
So I would always watch someone like Tatum O'Neal. Because she was my age and she was 9 years old and won an Academy Award. So I
Yeah.
was like, wow, I was just so impressed by her. And I know Jodie Foster started really young, and I was just so impressed by these young kids. I mean, they started out as kids, and Jodie Foster, my God, she's still working. She's still amazing.
Yeah, and
Um,
she directs too. She doesn't just act.
and directing too. Did you see Nyad? That was her last. I think that was her last film. The last one I saw of hers.
No, I didn't see that one. But of course, I've seen Home for the Holidays. I mean, that's become a holiday classic now.
Which one is Home for the Holidays?
Mid 90s, it's got everyone from Steve Guttenberg to Cynthia Stevenson, who I just interviewed, to Austin Pendleton. Lots of big names are in that movie. Charles Durning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I gotta see that. I'm not remembering that one.
she directed it. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
for
man.
me, I always loved Peter Sellers and being there because just like him, I'm autistic spectrum, and like I influence people by saying the most simple things. You know,
That's awesome.
it's
Yeah, Chauncey Gardner.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
interesting, and also James
He
Spader
was
in Sex
he
Lies
was
and
such a
Videotape
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
because he's a voyeur and I'm a
Peter
voyeur.
Peter Sellers was kind of underrated as an actor. Like he was a comedian, but
Hmm.
then he was a really good actor too.
He
Did you ever see
uh
um oh my God, what was the one
Doctor
where he played like
Strangelove.
Yes,
I
he
knew
was
you
like
were going to
five
say
girls.
that. I knew it because he plays
Yeah.
multiple characters in it.
Hmm.
Yes.
You
He.
know what? I think that really struck me too because I do
Mhm.
different characters and voices, and so when I saw that, I just was like, "Oh my God, that's what I do!" And so that was incredibly inspiring to me.
Oh my God, he was just fantastic. He was great as the German teacher in Lolita, and oh, what's the one?
Yeah, that was
I was oh,
him. Oh
he
my
played
God.
Charlie Chan in Murder by Death.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
You couldn't do
yeah.
that
That's
nowadays.
probably it's. No, I was just gonna say that's not gonna be politically correct. And oh my God, if you've seen Breakfast at Tiffany's lately, the Rooney, what's his name,
Yeah,
Rooney, that
Mickey
plays
Mickey
the
Rooney.
landlord. Oh yeah, that's just not right. It's just
Yeah,
uh,
even
yeah,
Blake
it's
Edwards
unacceptable.
regretted it. Blake Edwards regretted that. You know, he wanted an excuse to work with Mickey because they were in World War II together, and he couldn't find him apart, and that was all he could find.
Oh no. Yeah, and I guess back then, I don't know. I mean, they probably could have found an Asian actor somewhere, but
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah,
funny. I've talked to Asian actresses, and they've told me they were never offended by stuff like that because back then there weren't a lot of Asian actors in Hollywood, and the ones that were, they were very ethnic. You could barely understand them. They didn't look like matinee idols, you know. But now it's
right.
different. You know, more generations have
Yeah,
expanded it. You know, but yeah.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. That's
they just think that today's landscape of people being offended is just silly.
Yeah, I know. I have a friend who's a Native American. I just wrote about that on my Substack too a few weeks
Hmm.
ago. But I asked her. I kind of delved into all these questions for her
Yeah,
because, like, are you offended that by girls who wear braids and
yeah,
just all these different things, with like our high school. I went to Birmingham High School, and our team's name was the Birmingham Braves.
yes.
And they changed it. They ended up changing the name. And I said, would you have been offended? She said, no, Braves that's a compliment.
Yeah, I mean, people portray the Indians so negatively in our history, right? But that's always been a compliment. I don't know why they changed, Cleveland Indians and all that stuff because that was a compliment. They were saying, "Yeah, you guys rock."
Yeah, yeah, they're warriors. They're strong. Yeah, especially for the name of a team.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you go to the drive-in growing up?
Yes, now and then. So not only when I was little, but then there was like one drive-in left in Los Angeles, and I would go
Hmm.
sometimes with some high school friends, and it was so much fun. I was like, I wish I was grew up in the 50s.
Yeah, I
It's
think.
always like that when you're little and growing up. Like if
Hmm.
you're growing up in the 60s or 70s, you always wish you grew up in the decade before or something.
Yeah. My parents started taking me when I was two to the drive-in, and I saw Weird Science and Rambo 2 the first night, and I remember it so well.
When you were two?
Yeah, because, well, I remember the first movie I ever saw when I was one. It was either The Shining or Cannonball Run, but it was like around that same time period. But you always remember your destiny, and you don't know it's your destiny until hindsight comes.
Right, right. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So that's funny. That's a really early memory though at 1 years old. Like I've never heard
Yeah.
of that before.
Well, I say this all the time. I'm not Mary Lou Henner, but I can remember like almost every movie I saw for the first time.
Wow. That's a gift. That's truly a gift.
It
I would
is.
always tell people, because I don't have like a lot of skills besides acting and writing and comedy
Hmm.
and so if I were to get some kind of job, it would have been a Blockbuster. But now that we don't have Blockbuster anymore,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
Oh, I told somebody this the other day. I applied to like every video store that was left around when I was a teenager. They all didn't take me, and the movie theaters didn't take me, and I never understand why.
Oh, so what was the reason? Did you ever get a reason?
No, I never even got an interview. I just filled out applications, and they said thanks for coming in.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. I probably dodged
Oh,
the bullet because
yeah.
I hate customer service. I hate dealing with assholes. So it was a good thing. I mean, I worked in retail in other areas. I worked at Long's and Mervin's and all these different places. So maybe I dodged the bullet. Who knows?
I think so. And cleaning up popcorn crumbs to me would just be really tedious.
Yeah, it
Like
would
those
be.
little pop open sweepers that you have to carry around with you, and
Or
then
worse.
it's sticky.
Or worse,
Then
maybe.
you got the
Yeah,
sorry.
or worse, mopping up semen or something.
Oh no! When you sit down and there's that sticky floor,
Yeah.
I'm always hoping that it's from soda.
Yeah. It is. It is. There's a difference between soda sticky and semen sticky.
Oh God, I guess yeah. I
So,
never thought of it that way.
so getting into television, like, did you watch sitcoms growing up?
Yes, yes, I love sitcom. Well, my favorite was Carol Burnett, which wasn't really a sitcom, but
Yeah.
comedy and doing characters. So I just love Carol Burnett. I even love Cher, Sonny and Cher.
Oh, they were the best.
Um, they were so good, and just good memories because it was like family time. Like my parents loved watching those shows with us, and of course my mother was always like, "Oh, look what Cher is wearing. Oh,
Yeah.
she looks stunning."
She always had her belly button showing, and she still does.
Yes, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you know who started that though was Nichelle Nichols and Barbara Luna on this one Star Trek episode in 1967. That changed it all because Barbara Eden on I Dream of Jeannie. She shot the pilot, and there was a reporter on set, and he took a picture of her in her costume, and her belly button was showing, and the newspapers made a big stink about it. And then next thing you know, they had to reshoot the pilot without her belly button showing because it was just so controversial at that time.
Oh my God, I never heard that story. That's an amazing story.
Oh yeah, it's legendary.
Huh. And then so Cher kind of made the bare belly famous, I guess,
Well,
right?
she,
Because that was like
yeah,
70
yeah, she
time.
she definitely kept it going by that point. But yeah, like people started, like when Barbara Luna and Nichelle Nichols started in '67. Then pretty soon everybody was doing it. It started in movies, of course, in the early to mid
Right,
'60s with the beach parties. But that was because it's a
right.
movie. I mean, you have to go in, be accompanied by an adult, kind of a thing. So they didn't care about that. But for television, yeah, it was a big brouhaha.
Right, right. That's right. Yeah, because in the movies also, if it's a bikini movies, then they have to wear a bikini too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I loved I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched,
Oh, F,
and
F Troop,
yeah, it was. I think there was like a Friday night lineup of all of these.
G-
The Brady Bunch,
Gilligan's Island.
yes, Gilligan's Island. Everybody wanted to be Ginger. Some girls wanted to be Mary Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Munsters and the Abs Family.
Yes, loved them. And later on in high school, it was like thinking about those shows. It was like those guys must have been so wasted
Yeah.
when they came up with those ideas.
Well,
It was the '60s.
yeah. Well, I know that when Gilligan's Island was being made, Sherwood Schwartz he was aware of the civil rights movement going on at the time, and he thought to
Mhm.
himself, what if you put all these people of different classes together on a desert island, and they had to learn to tolerate each other and deal with each other? I think that's a really great premise for a show.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect. That's perfect, and it totally worked.
Yeah, if it had been made a few years later, maybe there would have been a black person or an Asian person or
I
whatever.
was just gonna say, yeah,
Yeah,
it would have been if there was a little bit more of that, but
yeah.
they, for its time, they were pretty daring. And then like the Beverly Hillbillies, that was a
Oh yeah.
you know fish out of water kind of story too.
That show made Buddy Epson a huge star because he was the original Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, but he was allergic to the makeup, and so
Yeah,
his career was pretty much ruined for about 20 years until that show.
yeah, and you know what? Thank God he was allergic because that tin it was made of mercury, and the guy who played the Tin Man died young.
Yeah, Jack Haley. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think his
yeah, and
son is
didn't
still
his son
alive. Yeah,
marry Liza Minnelli years ago? Like there was this funny
Y-
coincidence about
yeah. She's had a couple
wasn't it?
husbands, and Jack Haley Jr. is one of them.
Yeah, he was one of them. So that was a funny coincidence.
Yeah,
That's sweet.
yeah. Did you watch Batman?
Which one?
The Adam
Oh,
West.
the TV show. Oh my God, I loved Batman. Yeah, I had a crush on Robin too.
Yeah, I interviewed him.
You did?
Yeah, he still sounds like exactly like he did when he was 20, and he's 80 now. And it was so funny. His publicist screwed up the day and time of the interview. He couldn't do interviews on Wednesday, which is what I got. So we had to do it on Thursday, and he was just so mad because it's happened before. So he's just yelling out loud to his
Oh.
publicist, and I'm expecting him to say something like, "I'm not going to be a pawn in your game, Joker," or something.
That's funny. What was the Ward? What was his name?
Burt Ward.
Something Ward. Burt Ward. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my God, I can't. He's 80. I think of these actors and the TV shows, and they're just frozen in time in my mind.
yeah, yeah. And
So.
I'm trying to remember. Did you spend time in New York when you were a kid?
I spent time in New York as a young adult because I went to college
Yeah.
there and I was an actor there. But why? Where are you going?
I was going to ask you if you ever watched The Magic Garden when you were a kid.
No.
It was
The
a
Magic Garden?
It was a local kids show, and I've interviewed the two hippie girls that were the hosts. And yeah, they were just these two hippie girls, and they had puppets on there, and they would sing songs, folk songs and stuff. And it was a phenomenon for about 12 years, and then they stopped doing it. But it was a famous local show. And when they do the chiller conventions, God, everybody from New York, New Jersey comes out to see them because that show was so popular.
Oh, that's so cute. That's awesome. Did you ever watch Zoom?
I only became aware of that show a few years ago because they have Zoom reunions at ChillerCon, so that's how I know it. But I've seen clips on YouTube, but never full length episodes.
Wait, they had reunions at Chiller. That is so funny.
Oh
Oh my
yeah,
God, I need to go to ChillerCon to see a Zoom reunion.
oh yeah, oh yeah. They got so many reunions, especially if you're a Jersey, New York person. Like you remember Uncle Floyd?
That's familiar.
He
I
was a
don't know.
he
I
was
don't.
he was a children's host for many years. Yeah, he does it.
Oh, wow. And what was that clown show? Something the clown.
Oh, Bozo.
Bozo. Yes. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Now we're talking like that was really early 60s Bozo.
Yeah, Bozo. Yeah, and there was Vance Colvig, and then his son Vance Colvig Jr. who did it, and then this guy Joey DiOria, who was a stand-up comedian that used to be on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. He took over, and he's the most recent Bozo. Yeah, I think he did it up until maybe a decade ago or something.
Oh wow. And then of course there's Sesame Street, which it's still on the air, right?
Eh,
After
uh,
like 6 years.
yeah, it's on Netflix now because of the whole Trump and PBS thing, but yes, it's still going after 56 years, I want to say.
Yeah. No, I remember I was 5 years old and I remember my mom looking in the TV guide and
Hmm.
saying, "Oh, there's a new TV show on that's for kids. It's called Sesame Street." And I was so excited. And I just remember sitting down on the carpeting because we didn't have any couches or anything, but we had a TV and watching it and just loving it. It was so good. It was such a good show for kids. And of course, Mr. Rogers, too.
Oh, do you remember Schoolhouse Rock?
Yes, Schoolhouse Rock. That was an
Yeah,
awesome show. That
yeah,
was good because, learn from these shows.
yeah. That was, God, a great show. I remember the first time I ever saw it, they were making fun of it on The Simpsons. That was like my introduction to Schoolhouse Rock,
Oh,
where the bill is the amendment on The Simpsons, and Sheldon, what's his name? Sheldon Leonard, who did it in the 70s, he was
uh-huh.
doing it in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah. Oh, Sheldon Leonard was so talented.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, there were some really good kids shows back then, and even the cartoons like Bugs Bunny.
Oh,
And
huge Saturday morning cartoon fan. All the Hanna Barbera stuff. When there was that one Scooby Doo spinoff called what was it called? The Scooby Doo at the movies or something, where they'd have Sonny and Cher or the Three Stooges or the Addams Family come on and solve mysteries with them.
oh no, that sounds terrible.
No,
Was
it
it
was
good?
it was the best one, I think, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
they'd have celebrities on there. That was if it wasn't for that, there'd be no Simpsons with the celebrity cameos they have on that show.
Right, right. Oh my gosh. I guess I'm a purist. I just think of like the nostalgia of these shows and I would find a way like I think it was on Nickelodeon they did repeats when my kids were little. So I
Hmm.
was always like, "Oh, you guys have to watch this." I used to love these shows when I was little and they would watch. They liked a lot of them.
Yeah, I watched the Nickelodeon. I watched like Pinwheel, which was an electric company ripoff in Canada.
Um, Electric Company. I didn't watch that one as much.
That had Morgan
Uh,
Freeman on it before anybody knew who he was.
oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did you love the early Saturday Night Live with the Not Ready for Prime Time players?
Yes, early SNL was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a great show. Yeah, and I'll still look at like if I'm on Instagram and they have like old clips from them and just and also the years when Kristen Wiig was on
Oh
was a
yeah.
really good cast, like Bill Hader and um yeah.
I stopped watching after 2009. It just, I don't know. The writing on that show fluctuates. Right now, I think it's at the worst. I've seen clips here and there and stuff, but back in the 70s, that was always my favorite cast because I loved all the movies that they did later, and just
Yeah.
they formed my childhood of loving comedy.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, so that was your inspiration.
It was Chevy and Aykroyd and Belushi, Pee Wee Herman. I was a big fan of. He was
Mm.
he was at the beginning of my love for comedy.
I remember when kids were talking about it at school. I guess it was like 1975 when it first came out, and the kids were talking about it, and I was not up that late.
Hmm.
So I had no idea. I could not contribute, and I would ask my, and I wasn't allowed to be up that late at that age, and so it really wasn't until later that I was able to watch some of these and appreciate them. But yeah, that was the original cast was the best.
When you did start getting up, staying up late, did you watch like Tom Snyder or Letterman?
I watched Letterman. I watched Tom Snyder. Carson, when I could.
Hmm.
Carson was classic. He was just so good.
Yeah,
I'll still watch clips of of him. Because he was apolitical and funny.
yeah.
I don't really find political humor funny.
Hmm.
And he was never you never knew what his persuasion was.
I've heard he was a Democrat in real life.
Well, whatever it was, he was classic and classy.
Well, classy on screen. I've heard so many horror stories about him. There was a podcast called
Oh,
the Carson Podcast. Um, it was on
oh
for it was
no!
on for 8 years. Yeah, he was a bully, pretty much.
Oh, oh, you
He
burst my bubble.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, he was very biased with people having them on or not having them on. He was very sensitive, is what he was, right? And like Saturday Night Live, when they first came on, they were the new lineup after his reruns. Were on at 11 o'clock or 11:30, and they replaced it. And he was so mad he wouldn't have any of the SNL people on for years because of it.
No. Oh my God. Well, the one story I did hear was about Joan Rivers, and
Yes.
she always promised that she wouldn't have a show competing with his or something, and somehow she ended up having a show at the same time, and he just never spoke to her again. Her show failed, and he just never spoke to her again, which I thought was a little okay, a little petty, but
Well,
you know.
allegedly they screwed, but I don't know if that really happened. That's just the
Uh,
rumors out there. I don't know if it's because of that, but because of things like that, yeah. Oh my God. I mean, he ran that show like the mob, but because he came up in the nightclubs owned by the mob, and he kind of did the same thing that they did, and like he had to pre-approve guests and say, I don't want this person or that person. He had falling outs with Wayne Newton and God, so many people.
Really? Because he also made or broke a comedian. Like if you got
Yeah,
on Carson, you were made.
yeah. He was an interesting guy, but he also did a lot of great things and was very generous and helped a lot of people at the same time.
Hmm. Well, that's good.
You know, I mean, Bob
Good. Yeah.
Euchre. Bob Euchre was a regular on his show, right? And he said on the Carson podcast, he ran into his nephew years after Johnny died, and he said, "Why did your uncle love me so much?" And he said, "Because you weren't show business. You were a Midwest boy just like him, and he knew that when you were coming on, there wasn't going to be any bullshit backstage. He knew exactly what he was in for, and he respected you for it."
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that how he would appreciate that though too. Because once if you're a celebrity and then you're surrounded by people that you don't know if they really like you for you or,
Hmm. Yeah, and
that way
also,
to
yeah, and also too, he was very quiet, like backstage. He never talked to anybody. But then there's that one rare person that was on the show that got to talk to him for a brief time backstage, and they cherished that experience because he didn't talk to anybody backstage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if he zeroes in on you and has a chat with you but nobody else, yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, like I got to see Johnny at the end. I was a big Letterman guy, and like I got into Conan a little bit, and
Mhm.
Leno a little bit. My grandmother, she didn't like any of those guys, but she watched their shows just for the guests.
Oh, yeah. I was more because I never went to sleep really late, especially raising kids. And then so sometimes I'd watch Oprah or, the daytime shows, but I don't, yeah, I just wasn't, I was never up late enough for the talk shows.
Yeah. So getting into music, do you remember the first album you were given or you bought with your own money?
Ugh, it's so funny. I was just talking to Jeffrey about that. I was never really into music.
I
I
like
think,
I've met a couple of women
yeah,
so far doing these nerd outs who are not big music lovers. It boggles my mind. I always thought that women were the most musical people.
that's so funny. Well, you know what? My sisters were always more into music. My daughter's really into music. My husband is really into music.
Hmm.
But I just never, I mean, now as an adult, I just really like classic rock.
Yeah,
I don't anything really contemporary. I find that a lot of the singers sound the same.
yeah.
Um, and then like we just went on a driving trip, and what kind of music do you want to listen? And I was like classic rock, um, maybe Simon and Garfunkel or
Ah,
Elton John or
I love those guys. They're great.
yeah. Yeah, I just the classic stuff. I just really I mean, I can definitely appreciate certain songs, certain contemporary songs and lyrics and whatever, but I just don't spend time on it. And I think I probably like one of the first albums I would have listened to would have been something that my older sister brought home. So like maybe an Elton John album
Yeah.
or Carl Simon.
Ah,
Um, I do remember though, my sister was at University of Colorado at Boulder, and she came home from one of the holidays, and she said, "Oh my God, there's this new stand-up comedian, and he just made an album, and we went to see him. He's so funny. We have to listen to this album." It was Steve Martin.
yeah. The wild and crazy guy, and
Yeah,
let's get small. Those are
let's
great
get
albums.
small. Yeah, excuse me.
Oh,
Yeah.
he would go on the Tonight Show and he'd be like, "Hey, Johnny, hey, Sammy Davis Jr."
Yeah, and then I love watching documentaries about these people because I like knowing like how did they were they born this way? Were they born talented? Who were their parents? And it's so
Yeah.
funny how many of them had just horrible fathers,
Mm-hmm. Oh
just
yeah.
like wicked dad. Like even Steve Martin and Billy Joel. I don't know if you've seen any of their
I did.
documentaries.
I saw Billy Joel. Yeah, I liked it, but it was excessive. They went like talking about every single album, and it's like it's already documented. Let's just talk about his life, you know?
Yeah, it was. I didn't mind it. I'm just a huge fan of his still, and I saw him in concert a couple times. Um, but yeah, just knowing his background and like his dad, like that, like knocked him out so hard he went and he fell unconscious because he was playing the piano,
Mm-hmm.
and just
Yeah.
these stories about having a parent, Elton John's mother, just having this parent that I guess they just really had to not live up to, but just show them, you know.
Exactly.
Mercury, or yeah, like I loved Queen. Also, we just watched the Freddie Mercury movie again, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I mean, God, Freddie Mercury was just. He's like a guy from another time zone. I mean, there was no one like him.
He is. Yeah, yeah, he was such a talent. Uh,
My
truly.
my dad had a rock band when I was a kid, so like I was exposed to music early on. He had vinyl records and had Carole King's Tapestry and the Beatles and Stones, Beach Boys, all the great stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So, do you have records again? Do you have vinyl again, or are you strictly on Spotify?
I'm mostly on YouTube and Spotify. I do have a huge CD collection from over 30 years ago that I still have, but I don't play them really. I have a couple vinyl records just for collector's items that I happen to see at a thrift store. Yeah, I got what do I got? I got a Wham album, a Culture Club album. I got Scorpions Blackout, stuff like that.
Culture Club.
Yeah,
Culture Club. Oh my
Boy
gosh.
George.
Boy George, the Go Go's. That was
Oh,
like my high school. The
I'm a
Cars. The
oh
Cars. Devo.
yep. Oh God, did you see the Devo documentary?
No, was it good?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's stuff that I've heard already, but it's good.
Did the lead guy have a mean dad too?
I don't think they
I'll have
delved. I don't think they delved into the like the family backgrounds of the guys, but just the careers.
right, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diva. Oh, Deborah Harry. I love
Oh,
Blondie.
huge Blondie fan. I interviewed the original bassist a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you get these interviews? Do you just call their publicist or manager and
I don't deal with the representation anymore, and I just go directly to them.
oh, good for you. That's awesome.
And I get recommended a lot too. So I am
That's
absolute.
awesome.
I am absolutely blessed that way. That's going back to what I was saying at the top of the hour about how blessed I am, CK. I mean, this I'm still pinching myself. 8 years of this, it's just phenomenal.
Hmm, that's great. That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Do you remember your first rock concert?
My first rock concert, I think, well, I don't know if this was the first, but the one that I have a memory of was at Foreigner. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I really wasn't into music yet. I think it was high school is when I started to, really listen to music more. But somebody invited me. I went to Foreigner. She got a limo, and I remember she had a joint and not know like how to smoke or inhale or anything. I think I was in eighth grade,
Yeah.
and she said, "Do you have a buzz?" And I had no idea what buzz meant, and, and I was just like, "Yeah." And then the concert, I just thought it was so boring.
Yeah.
I think it was probably Foreigner that was just boring. I think it was just that because I noticed, as I got older and I started going to concerts, there were some bands like Sting is also really boring in concert.
I can
And
imagine.
I liked his music. We went as adults. My husband and I went years ago, and he's just boring. So
I love his
yeah, but
music.
Foreigner,
I love his music videos. He's entertaining in music videos.
yeah, 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 and he's a talented guy. Although then we were listening to the radio the other day or Spotify the other day, and "Don't Stand So Close to Me" came
Yep.
on,
Yep.
and really with lyrics, it was like, hello, this is about pedophilia. Like, do
Yeah.
we really want to sing this song?
I found out recently Sting and his wife Trudy Schuyler, who he's been with for 40 years, they're
Yeah.
swingers. They're in an open marriage.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. That I don't understand.
Well, I've been in a couple open relationships myself.
Really?
You have to be specially wired in order to be a part of that. And yeah, it's not for everybody, but it can be fun.
Huh. All right. Yeah, to each his own.
Yeah.
Whatever works, whatever works.
I saw the Monkees live when I was 14.
Oh, fun. Where was this?
This was at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. It was only three of them. Michael Nesmith was not there. And they had done a new album recently, and they had a short-lived spin-off of their old show that didn't last. And they were fantastic. They drove off the field in a Cadillac.
Oh, that's awesome. I would have loved that.
Yeah, that was
That's
that was a birthday present of me and my uncles. Our birthdays are around the same time, so it was fun
yeah.
and stuff. Do you
I
remember?
once went to I saw Elton John once in LA. This was during the whole AIDS epidemic,
Hmm.
and he was doing um, an AIDS concert for charity,
Right.
donate donated to AIDS causes, and he was just a little diva at that concert because I guess the piano wasn't tuned properly, which I can understand if you're doing a concert, and but he was so upset that he slammed down on the piano and just said to everyone, "That's it. You can all get your money back."
Yeah.
We were like, "This is an AIDS concert."
He
We're like, "Our money was a donation."
he's a dick. I've heard he's a dick. He's great though. I
Yeah,
mean, he's one of the most talented like showmen ever, I'll tell you.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I guess some of these geniuses, they're not going to have perfect personalities, so
No.
we can't expect it.
Do you remember your first makeout song?
Oh, my first makeout song. I think it was Loving You.
Uh-huh.
Uh Wait, was it Loving You? I can't even remember who. Yeah, but I think I was in like sixth grade and I had braces on my teeth. And it was a neighbor from around the corner. And just, what about you? Remember?
Oh yes, I was 12. It was Janet Jackson's Love Will Never Do Without You.
Oh,
Very steamy song, and it led to my first heavy petting experience, which was fantastic.
oh, yeah. There's nothing like that first kiss.
Yep, or more. Here's
More.
here's a fun question. Do you remember the first time you discovered your belly button?
My belly button. God, you do you remember when you were in the womb? Because you're going back to like I have no idea the first time I recognized my belly button.
Yeah, I was like,
But you're like you remember when you were one. So do you remember when you first recognized your belly button?
I remember being like 6.5, and I started contemplating it because me and the other boys would like compare ours, in school. And I had this girlfriend who had an adorable Audi that she used to let me play with.
Oh, funny. Well, I think my middle sister probably pointed out my Audi and probably made fun of it because it didn't look like, it was an Audi. It didn't look like other belly buttons. And so that was probably the first time I became self conscious of it.
Have you ever been with a guy that had an Audi?
I've never been with a guy that had an Audi. No, I
Okay,
don't think so.
I got a funny story. When I was in my 20s, I went on a date with this girl that I met on a dating website, and we're having coffee, and she told me that if I had a doorknob Audi, it would be a deal breaker. And so I lifted up my shirt and showed her that I had an innie, and she had this sigh of relief, but she still didn't want to see me again after that.
Oh, what was her reason?
She just didn't see a spark between us, and quite frankly,
Yeah,
in hindsight, I didn't see it either. She was saying yes to everything and agreeing with everything, and that's not the kind of relationship I want.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. So are you on dating apps or where do you meet people?
I haven't dated in over a decade since my accident, and Partially it's out of fear of the Me Too movement, and partially out of fear of just being hurt again. It may change in the future because I am in midlife crisis mode, but who knows? Whatever comes to me comes to me.
Yeah, yeah. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
I mean, I had fun in my 20s and 30s, leading up to my accident. I had fun. I lived 1,000 lives during that period, so it's not like I don't have the memories of it because I do.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't remember what your accident was. Was it a car accident?
Yeah, I spent 30 days in a coma.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You had told me about that.
And
That's great.
I promise you, eventually I will go back to writing my memoir. I actually had made plans to do it this summer, and then so many guests started coming on, I just didn't have time. But it is in the cards in the future. I will finish my memoir.
Yeah, yeah. You absolutely should. It's quite a story. And coming out of that and coming back to life and starting this podcast, and it sounds like you're taking care of yourself physically and emotionally, and
Yeah,
so that's awesome. That could be something that people would find a lot of hope in reading and can help other people.
yeah. So to wrap this up, can you believe it's been 35 years since Frankenhooker?
Ah, you had to bring that up. No, it's been 35 years.
Yeah,
Oh God. Well, my Seinfeld episode was happened to be on the other night. So my
yeah.
husband and I watched. I was just like, I look so young. Look so different. But thank God I'm still here.
My favorite line is in Frankenhooker. It's
But
I love your delivery on Jeffrey stapled your stomach.
I don't even remember this. What?
Yeah,
Jeffrey Staple's
in the
stomach?
in the first 5 minutes, you and Patty Mullen
Yeah.
are talking about her diet, and she's like, "I've been on the vegetable diet, the meat diet, all these different diets," and she's like, and then Jeffrey even offered to staple my stomach, and he's like, Jeffrey stapled your stomach.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's so funny.
I would never forget
Wow.
that line if I said that.
Yeah. It's so
So-
funny. Yeah, I was in that one scene. It was at the very beginning.
yeah.
And then I was also in one scene in Lurkers.
Yep.
And I think that was toward the beginning too.
Yeah. You did that before, Frankenhooker.
Yeah, I think so.
So do you have anything
Mm.
upcoming? Anything you wrote or anything?
Um, just my Substack. I do essays, personal essays, and they're mostly humor. And it's cstiefel.substack.com. And then I do comedy videos now. I'm trying to get an audience together. So
On
I think
YouTube?
they're pretty good on, well, so I haven't, you know what I need to do? So I'm on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm at Empty Nester Comedy. And I have a YouTube channel at Empty Nester Comedy, but I have to figure out how I can easily change the aspect ratio from, oh my God, it's because they have different aspect ratios on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. They're all different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do the video, I'm able to switch it over pretty easily from TikTok to Instagram. So now I got to figure out how to just easily, so I'm not like going back and editing everything to get it onto my YouTube channel. But definitely come and follow me at Empty Nester Comedy on Instagram and TikTok.
I'm definitely going to subscribe to you on YouTube and Substack. I joined Substack because I know a lot of people who write. I haven't written anything on there, but I do like reading people's stuff, so I will definitely go there. And by the way, did you ever look into maybe doing the autograph shows in the future?
No, so how do I do that?
I I guess you join the convention groups, and say, hey, does anybody have like a convention manager, that I can talk to about doing the autograph shows? And I went to the Hollywood show for the first time in June, and Barbara Luna, who I mentioned before, the belly button pioneer in Star Trek, she books a lot of people for the Hollywood show, and she's on Facebook, and they do Seinfeld reunions there every year with people who guest starred on there.
Oh, what's her name again?
Barbara Luna.
Barbara Luna. Barbr.
Yeah,
Bar.
yeah. She capitalized both Barbaras on her Facebook and stuff, and she likes being called Luna. She likes being called by her last name, and
Oh,
she's wonderful. And by the way, she let me touch her belly button when we took our selfie.
oh, fun. Wait, which Barbara Luna is she? She's digital creator, or is she Barbara? That one with the two, you said two capital
Yeah,
B's?
the two capital B's. Yeah,
All right, I'll add her as a friend.
yeah. She's awesome, and yeah, they do Seinfeld reunions of guest stars and all of that stuff every year.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, they didn't do it when I went there back in June, but I got to meet God, people I knew, people I interviewed, from the Waltons and Leave It to Beaver and various shows. I got to meet little Ricky from I Love Lucy.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh my God. Did you interview him?
No, no, I just met him, and I'm gonna reach out to him next year because it'll be the 75th anniversary of I Love Lucy. So I'm gonna reach out to him. His grandson was helping him. He looked exactly like him at that age. He
Oh,
was so cute. He was so cute.
I
Yeah.
love to see. That was probably, what, when you asked what shows left an impression on me, that because there were reruns when I was little, and I just loved Lucy. She was just,
I interviewed her
uh,
daughter this summer.
oh,
Yeah, she was a
what was she
milestone.
like?
She was a milestone. It's not easy being related to an icon, and she's been asked every question about I Love Lucy and her parents in general. I asked her about stuff that her mom did that she wasn't even aware of because I'm such a fan of her mother's and stuff. And it was great. And she was in The Jazz Singer with Neil Diamond. We talked a lot about that. She's very proud of that movie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. Is she still married to Lawrence Luckinbill?
Yes, she is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice. I think they run like some foundation, and they take care of all the documentaries and all of that stuff.
yes, and she's always constantly doing cabaret shows and working. Yeah, and she's really established her own identity, even though she's not super internationally famous like her parents. She still has her own identity, and I just think that's so
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. That's great. And what about her brother? I know he didn't he pass recently?
Desi's still alive. He keeps a low profile.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he keeps a low profile. Yeah, he had that group with Dean Martin Jr. and the other guy. Yeah, they had a trio.
Oh, really? Oh my God. You're a wealth of knowledge.
I am. And
You really could write a book about all this stuff, all the ins and outs of what you know. You could have a whole like series of books.
all this stuff has been documented. I don't know, maybe I would write trivia books. I have written a trivia book about my favorite band, the Bangles, but I haven't published it for a multitude of reasons. But I would not rule out that doing trivia books, but like to do like
Yeah.
oral history, I don't know, it's been done too many times.
No, the trivia book that would be primo. Do the trivia book.
Okay, I'll consider that. I have a
After
couple
your memoir.
after my memoir. Yes, the memoir is the most important.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
have
definitely.
I have a couple jokes for you.
What?
What kind of meat does a priest eat on Friday?
I don't know.
None.
Oh no. Oh.
What
What about what's a priest's worst habit? None. I
none.
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good.
It's derived from that one exactly. Um, I'm trying to remember. Oh, what does a redneck do at Halloween?
What?
Pumpkin.
Oh no. This-
I'm a joke collector.
oh,
What can I say? I collect jokes.
you're terrible, Muriel. What's that movie from? Or what's that line from? You're terrible, Muriel.
Silence of the Lambs.
Muriel's Wedding.
Oh,
Did you ever
okay.
see that movie?
I
Yeah.
probably saw it once. I think Rowan Atkinson's the priest in that. Yeah, I saw it at least once when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
It is. It is. Well, CK, I love you. Thank you so much for coming back on and nerding out with me today.
Thank you so much. It was great chatting with you, and I love hearing your stories too. I
Oh,
hope you don't mind asking you questions.
absolutely not. It's funny. There's certain guests that come on for the first time that are so prolific and they're so interested in me. And I send everybody my bio and stuff so they know what they're in for and everything. But like, certain ones they want to talk about me, and I'm like, I want to talk about you because you rarely do interviews or there's stuff you don't talk about, and but with you, I'm so comfortable with you, and you're so inquisitive that I don't mind you asking me stuff.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm. I guess it's the writer in me because I really like
Yeah,
asking a lot of questions, getting to know people. So yeah, I
absolutely,
appreciate it.
absolutely. So you have a happy holiday season and be safe out there. And once again, I will subscribe to your YouTube and Substack.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye bye. Well, there you have it. CK Steefel, ain't she a sweetheart? Oh my God, I enjoyed every minute of that conversation. And once again, she is awesome and she's so talented as a writer. Go subscribe to her Substack and check out her YouTube channel, and I will certainly do the same. I just love her energy. And she's fantastic in Frankenhooker and Lurkers, even though she only has like one scene. She's selling herself short. Don't believe her when she says that it was just cameos. She can bring so much to cameos. She is fantastic, and she's hilarious on Seinfeld. Well, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes!